Now, we need to discuss what is really special about ancient Chinese industry. It's not about the technology, but the philosophy of industry. And by that, we mean the concept of hereditary and specialization. We know that industry is consisted of a number of sectors. So in the ancient times, we call it different crafts to reflect the fact that most productions were manual work and require a high level of production skills by hand. From the perspective of the form of industrial development, the different crafts were hereditary. In the Rites of Zhou, the chapter of Donggong record of industry, hereditary is the defining feature of industry. It says, after the sage has invented a thing, the expert, generation after generation, transmits it and holds it. This is called an industry. Okay, so what is so special about this definition? Well, the first thing is specialization in skills. This is partially because of the fact that the secret of each industry is maintained by the family and not openly written out. So the artisans usually receive special training from their fathers. So the craft becomes hereditary. Through this arrangement, industrial specialization was a necessary outcome. The family usually took up the function of passing down skills to future generations. And also, the artisans sometimes adopted the name of their industry for their surname. For example, the family that engage in fur production, named themselves Qiu, where Qiu in Chinese means leather. And also, the family that worked as a potter named themselves as Tao, which means pottery in Chinese. So we must understand that the any industry does not exclude the outsiders who doesn't belong to the same family, and the artisans have the freedom to move around between occupations. Even though they usually take up the work of their fathers, yes, but they do have the freedom to move somewhere else. So from the industry's perspective, hereditary simply means training for anyone who wishes to specialize in a particular industry. Although family tradition forms the foundation of industry specialization, there is also government officers who act as the master of an industry and preside over the whole of it. Mencius call them the masters of workmen, the masters of workmen. And there are a number of responsibilities of the master of workmen, such as inspection of the material, supervision of work, testing of finished product. But the most important duty of the master of workmen is to educate workers. So this means training and leadership. In particular, Mencius described the process as follows. A master workman, in teaching others, uses the compass and square, and his pupils do the same. Now, let's not treat this quote lightly and think that this is the description of a kindergarten drawing workshop. It demonstrates that in order to acquire the right skill set and knowledge, a deep relationship between the master and the student is necessary. And this means that the learner does not unnecessarily change the master, and he must spend a long time learning from one master only. And at the early stage of the learning and training, self-innovation is also not recommended. The best practice is to follow exactly what the master does and continue to learn in such a way for a long time. Now, this is only made possible. This arrangement is only possible when there is a deep relationship between the learners and the master. And surely the learner can come from anywhere outside of the original family. But this concept is so important, so let's talk about the underlying theory in the next video.